Welcome to your 5-day beginner Pilates challenge. My name is Ange. I'm a certified Pilates instructor, a studio owner, a mom, and I'm someone who has felt firsthand how much Pilates can bring to your life. Pilates has truly changed my life, and I want to be able to share the positive impact it's had on my life with as many people as possible. That's my mission here on YouTube, is to create classes that are short, fun, effective, and accessible to as many fitness levels as possible so that we can all feel the benefits of a regular Pilates practice. I've designed this challenge to be progressive, so each class is going to get slightly more challenging than the one before it, and we're going to keep building on our foundation starting in class number 1, which is today. You won't need any equipment for this challenge. All you need is your own body and a little bit of space. If you don't have a mat, you could even just use a small carpeted area. That's really all you're gonna need. Whether you're new to Pilates and looking to build core strength, or you're a seasoned Pilates veteran and you're looking to get back to the foundation, this challenge has something for everybody. If you're just coming back after having a baby or recovering from an injury, please check with your doctor before you start this or any other exercise routine. All of the classes are about 25 minutes long, so there is no reason why we can't fit this into our daily life. If you need to get creative and do half the class one morning and half the class the next morning, that's totally okay. Do what you need to do to make this challenge work for you. Also, don't feel like you have to do the entire challenge within a 5-day period. If you need to stretch it out a little longer, that's totally okay. If you need to stick with class number 1, do it a couple of times before you're ready to move on to class 2. That's also okay. The key is to make the challenge work for you and to stay consistent. The more you can fit Pilates into your life in whatever way works for you, however that looks for you, the more you're gonna feel the benefits, the faster you're gonna feel and see the changes in your body. I'll make sure to organize the challenge so everything is easy for you to find. If you check the description box below, I'll put a link to the challenge playlist, and I'll also create a calendar that you can download so you can easily click on the class and it'll take you right to the class for that day. And I also ask that you take a moment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Once you're subscribed, you can log into your YouTube profile, and at the bottom you'll see subscriptions. If you click on that, you'll easily be able to navigate to my page and you won't miss it when I post new workouts. It also helps to support the channel and helps me to be able to keep creating this free content for you. It helps get the word out to other women so that we can grow our community and help as many women as possible feel amazing with Pilates. So if that all sounds good to you, let's get into day number 1. Let's meet seated with the legs crossed or whatever feels most comfortable for you. And if you need a little support here, you could pop a little cushion underneath your seat. We're gonna start with some Pilates breathing. Take your hands, wrap them around the rib cage, thumbs around the back, fingertips around the front. Now in Pilates, we breathe in through the nose. Think of expanding the ribs into the hands, and we breathe out through the mouth, letting the ribs close back down. Let's do that again. Inhale into the thumbs, the fingers, and the space in between. And exhale, feel the ribs draw back together and slightly down. One more time. Breathe in, get that nice 360 breath. And exhale. Noticing the breath is a little bit audible and a little more forceful than your natural breath. Good job. We're going to keep breathing like that as we move through class, and we'll talk a little bit more about it as we go. But for now, let's bring the hands down by our sides. Take the right fingertips up towards the ceiling and come over to the side, getting a nice stretch through the right side of the body. Come all the way up, and the left arm lifts up and over. That feels really good, doesn't it? Now let's turn and face the front edge of our mat. Continuing with our breathing, you're gonna have your legs bent and hip distance apart, and folding over your legs, your hands can just rest on your lower shins here. Now let's take another big breath in here, expand the ribs, and exhale, relax the shoulders. Good. Imagine my hands are wrapped around the backs of your ribs here, and as you breathe in, you can think of expanding into my hands, and in this position, it's a little easier to feel those ribs open up behind you. And as you exhale, think of blowing air through a straw. Good, visualize that. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. And stack the spine back up. Okay, scoot forward a little so you have some space behind you. Hands behind the thighs to help you lower down onto your back. You're gonna bring your feet a little bit closer to you. Your feet are just in line with your sitting bones, and we're gonna continue on breathing and getting really connected to our core. So from here, take your hands on the front of the rib cage. And in this position, let's revisit that breath. Inhale, expand the ribs like an accordion. And exhale, feel the ribs draw gently together. Good, one more like that. And together. Now there are so many benefits to that inhale. We really want to be able to get that breath into the lower lobes of the lungs and get the ribs moving. And one of those benefits is to be able to get your core working properly. So we're going to be focusing on that now. Take your hands and place them on your pelvis. Now from here, let's take another big breath in, expand those ribs. And as you breathe out, see if you can sense a little connection through your abdominals. That breath really helps the abdominals to work. So there's a reason we breathe this way in Pilates, a couple of reasons, and that's one of them. Now take your peace fingers, place them on your hip bones and walk them in to where it's soft. Okay, just so that you can feel that connection a bit more. Breathe in, expand, feel that nice opening through the pelvic floor and the ribs. And as you breathe out, do you feel a little sense of connection underneath your fingertips? Feels like it gets a little firmer. Inhale, expand. Exhale. It's really subtle. It should be very subtle. And if you don't feel it yet, don't worry, it will come. Sometimes these things just take time. Now let's help that along a little bit with a visualization. So let's take another breath in, expand. And this time as you breathe out, imagine zipping up a pair of tight jeans, pubic bone to belly button, and wrapping in the sides of the waist. Good. Inhale, expand again. And one more time, breathe out, zip, and gently wrap. And maybe you felt that a little bit more. Okay, so that's just there to help you as we move through, but let's just breathe and move and it's gonna come. Now I want you to think about your pelvis for a minute and we're gonna go into some ranges of motion just to bring some awareness to it. Take your hands and place them on your pelvis. You can make a little triangle with your fingers and your thumb. And you're just gonna place that triangle right here, fingertips pointing towards the pubic bone and the heel of your hands near your hip bones. Now we're just gonna bring the lower back towards the mat in our Pilates imprint. And then from here, we're gonna release to feeling heaviness in the tail to what we call neutral. So notice there's a little bit of space, a little pocket of air underneath your lower back, and that's our neutral pelvis. And then we're gonna go back to imprint. Another position we're going to talk a lot about in Pilates, and back to neutral. Now lift your head for a second, take a look at your fingers. When you're in neutral, your fingers are level, okay? Your pelvis is flat. When you're in imprint, your fingers or your pubic bone is a little higher than your thumbs or your hip bones, okay? So if this isn't making sense right now, don't worry, it will. Just a little intro. Now come back to neutral. While we're in this position, I like to think about having a big juicy blueberry under my lower back, and it's just nice and happy under there. We're not squishing it, we're just gently touching it. Okay, that tailbone stays nice and heavy. When you come into your imprint, you bring the lower back towards the mat and you squish the blueberry a little bit. Okay, so we'll talk about that as we move through the program, and that way you'll have a good visual to help you find these positions. Now the other direction your pelvis can move is this way, arching the back. We don't really want that in most of our exercises, so this is just for awareness. That's a little too far, we'll lose our abs. So we're either gonna be working here in neutral or in our imprint. All right, let's test that neutral and get the breath involved. So find that nice happy blueberry, heavy through the tail, flat through the pelvis. And we're gonna lift our arms up, reach them back by the ears, and circle them around to the sides. Great job. Inhale, circle the arms back, and exhale, bring them around. Keeping the pelvis still, and as you continue with these arm motions, I also want you to notice your ribs. So as the arms go back, the ribs are probably going to want to lift off the mat. Let's see if we can keep the back of the ribs heavy into the mat, the front of the ribs nice and soft. So your abdominals are working to keep the ribs in a good position and to keep the pelvis in neutral. Let's reverse that. Inhale and exhale. Arm circles always feel so good to me. 3 more hopefully for you too. And 2 more. Noticing the breath, connecting with those deep core muscles. 1 more. The arms come down by the sides. And now maintaining that neutral pelvis, heavy tail, happy blueberry. Take a breath in and lift the left leg up to tabletop. And now exhale and lower the leg down. And let's lift the right leg up to tabletop. and lower it down. Let's keep going, alternating legs, using our inhale to lift, our exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. Noticing that on the exhale, you might feel a little bit of engagement in those abdominals. You are going to start noticing that now that you're aware of it. 2 more. 1 more time. Great job. Now from here, let's lift the left leg to tabletop and hold it there. Breathe in to prepare, and then breathe out, reach that leg long. Inhale, bend to tabletop, and exhale, reach. Good job. Keep going like this. Notice how when the leg goes away from the body, when it gets long, the back might want to arch and move away from your blueberry. So see if you can avoid that and keep that strong core. Good, I can already feel this, right? So hopefully you can too. That's the thing about Pilates. When you're doing things with intention and awareness and good form, you're gonna feel it and you'll get great results. Let's put that leg down on the mat and lift the other leg up. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, reach. Inhale, bend. Good, we have 8. And 7. Slowly building here. 6. And 5. Even if you are someone who's been practicing Pilates for a while, like me, you should be able to feel this work. I definitely do. 2. And 1. Good, bring the leg down. Okay, now let's bring our hands behind our head, interlace the fingers and make a little hammock for your head, okay? So you're gonna let your hands carry the weight of your head, bring your elbows in a little bit into your peripheral vision, and let's lift the chest right up off the mat, gazing at the thighs, and lower down. Doing that again, seeing if you can lift that chest to get the tips of the shoulder blades off the mat, and lower down. Nice job. Let's add the breath. We breathe out as we lift. We breathe in as we lower. 4 more. Where's your pelvis? It should be neutral here. And nice and still. Happy blueberry. Good. Now we're gonna lift and hold. Holding here, check it out. Do a couple of pelvic tilts. Find that neutral. Lift the chest a little higher. Your gaze is important. So we're gazing right at the thighs. We've got just a little space between our chin and our chest. And from here, we're gonna release just a little through the chest so we can pulse it up and up. Good. We have 4, 3, 2, using those abs to lift, hold there, slide those ribs down to the hips, come a little higher, and lower down. Nice job. Now keep your hands where they are. Let's take a breath in and lift the left leg up to tabletop. And breathe out, lift the chest. Now we're gonna take that leg, reach it long, lower the chest, pull the leg in, lift the chest. Good, just combining those moves. Reach and pull. And reach and pull. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Good, 4 more. And 3. Nice and stable in that pelvis. 2. And 1. Holding here, let's lower the foot, lower the head, and we have another side. Let's lift the leg up, lift the chest up. Inhale, reach and lower. Exhale, bend and lift. Good, 8 more like this. 7, starting to really feel those abs light up. If you're feeling this in your neck, I want you to think of sliding the ribs down to the hips when you lift, really taking the tension out of the neck, and let your head just heavy into your hands. Good. Last one, hold it here. Lower the foot, lower the head. Let's bring our arms out into a big T shape. Bring the feet together and a little closer to you. The knees are squeezing together and you're up on the balls of the feet. Let's go into a spine twist, bringing both knees over to the left, letting the right glute lift, but keeping the right shoulder down, and bring the knees back to center. And let's go the other way. Inhale and exhale. Good. 4 more. Keep those legs glued together and think of the opposite side obliques working to bring the legs back up. 3. Activate the side of the waist. 2. This feels really good. And 1. Coming to center. Nice job. Now let's give the abs a little break. We're going to revisit them in a moment. But from here, let's bring those legs back to that hip distance or that sit bone distance and bring the feet a little closer to the seat. Going into our hip rolls, we're going to push down into the heels and the hands, curl the tail under, squish that blueberry, and then keep going. Roll the spine one bone at a time up to a bridge position. Resting between the shoulder blades. And now we melt the spine down from the upper back, middle back, lower back, and then release to your neutral, heavy through the tail. Let's do it again. Curl the tail under, push into the heels, roll up. Hold at the top here. If your ribs have flared, I want you to draw them together, draw the glutes under you, and melt the spine back down. Beautiful. Couple more like this, adding the breath. Exhale, curl under, roll up. Inhale, melt the spine down. And unravel. Roll up. Now keep the inner part of the foot grounded as well. Think of pushing into the big toes and the heels so that your inner thighs are working a little bit here too. All right, let's roll up and hold. Hold here. Good. Now lift your arms up. See if you can find that beautiful bridge. And the ribs are soft here. You're going to fold the hips, lowering down a little, and press it up. Lower halfway, press it up. Good. Just little baby lifts. The arms being up off the mat makes you work a little harder. Work in the back body, the core. Good. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. Hold at the top, arms by your sides, roll down. Think of lengthening your tail as far away from you as you can. Lovely job. Okay, 2 more things for the abs before we switch gears here. Back in our neutral, we're gonna breathe in. Now let's breathe out. Think of imprinting the spine, getting those abs really strong, and float the left leg up, the right leg up. So you're holding that imprint, gently squishing your blueberry, and that's gonna help you in this position where both legs are lifted off the ground. Now from here, we're gonna tap the right toes down towards the mat, lift them up, and the left toes, and up. Good, so hands on the lower tummy to remind you to keep those strong lower abs as you continue alternating your toe taps. Good, not letting that back arch away too much. You're doing great. Noticing here that I'm not kicking my bum to bring my foot to the ground, but I'm arcing the leg away, keeping that 90-degree bend. Let's do 2 more. Really feeling this. Last one. And now the legs are gonna come down 1 and 2, and then we release to neutral. Now let's make that little basket for our head again. Interlace the fingers. And we're lifting the right leg up this time and the chest. From here, we're gonna reach the leg long like we did before. This time we're twisting as the knee comes in. Keep the chest lifted as you come back to center and reach. And pull the knee in and twist. Obliques. 6 more. and 5. Starting to really feel it. 4. Just because we're working on the fundamentals and building our foundation doesn't mean we're not going to feel the burn, because we will. This is Pilates. Good. And 1. Put the foot down, put the head down, reset. Neutral pelvis. Lift the leg up, lift the chest up. Inhale, reach the leg. Exhale, pull and twist. Good. 8. And 7. 6. See if you can bring the armpit over and across to the knee rather than just the elbow. So you're really getting that nice rotation, getting the obliques working really hard. You're doing great. 1 more time. And awesome job. Let's put the foot down, lower the head, and we're gonna bring our arms by our sides. Let's flip over onto all 4s here, meeting me in a tabletop position. The wrists are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. Now we're gonna isolate some muscles that really help to stabilize the scapula, the shoulder blades. And sometimes it can be hard to find these muscles. So we're gonna do our best here. And as we move through this, let's see if we can keep our spine nice and straight in a neutral position. To start, let's push the mat away from us and see if you can feel the shoulder blades separate across the back. And now see if you can draw the shoulder blades together. Good, let's do that again. Press the mat away, separate the shoulder blades. Keep the arms straight as you draw the shoulder blades together. Good, keep going here. Seeing if you can keep the shoulders out of the ears. And think more about that glide of those shoulder blades towards each other as the heart drops between the arms and away from each other as you press the mat away. 2 more. And last one. Keeping the spine nice and neutral. Now just find that sort of in-between place. We're gonna see if we can stay strong and stable here. Your gaze is out on the mat in front of you. Breathe in to prepare. And exhale, reach the right arm forward. Engage the core. Lower it back down. Inhale. And exhale the left arm forward. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale the right arm forward. Inhale down. And exhale the left arm forward. Let's do 4 more. Feeling the core, working to keep you stable as the arm moves. 2, working through the shoulder a little bit. And place the arm down. Nice job. Now let's lower down onto the tummy and go into some extension work. Bring your arms into this W shape. So your elbows are back of the shoulders a little bit, your thumbs are in line with your nose, and your arms are parallel with the edges of the mat. Your legs are long, hip distance apart, and parallel. So that just means your knees and toes are facing down towards the mat. Now, starting in a low hover, you're gonna lift your chest, bringing your gaze out to the end of the mat, and lower down. Lift the chest, feeling that nice extension as you rest on the lower ribs, and lower down. 2 more. Use your inhale to lengthen and your exhale to lower. Last time, lift. Notice my gaze is at the end of the mat, not at the wall in front of me. Back of my neck stays nice and long, and lower down. Now let's bring our hands by our sides, flip the palms up and let your shoulders round forward. Starting in your little hover here, we're gonna push the tops of the feet into the mat, energize the legs, zip up your core, rotate the palms inward to the thighs, and hover the chest off the mat. And then lower down, let your shoulders round towards the mat again, palms to the ceiling. Turn the palms in, open the collarbones and hover. Get long from toes to head, and notice you're just gazing straight down here. This is a longer, lower line, and lower back down. Beautiful. Let's do 3 more. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. 2 more. One more. working that whole back body, all those posture muscles. Now lift this one up and just hold here. Notice your triceps working, all those muscles that get really stretched out and weak when we're rounded forward all day long. We're working those muscles here. And relax back down. Good. Hands are coming underneath the shoulders. And you're going to press yourself back to sit on your heels and round your spine into a shell stretch. Take a breath in here and breathe out. And let's come on to our right side. We're gonna get into my favorite side leg series. You can pop your bent arm under your head for comfort, or you could place a yoga block or a pillow if that feels better for you. Now we're gonna start with our legs in a 3/4 bend, feet in line with the seat, and your hips are stacked. Let's reach the top hip towards the feet and feel a little lift in the underside of your waist. You've got that little pocket of space there. Okay, so now lift the feet up into the air and we're gonna go into clamshells. Now let's breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, open the knee, keep the feet together. Breathe in, lower the knee. Good. We have 7 more. And 6, pausing at the top, feeling a little squeeze. 5, 4, and even though we're working through the hips here, we're still really mindful that our core is engaged and our pelvis is staying steady. 2, 1, feeling that little squeeze at the top, lower the legs down. Good. Now we're going to lift the top leg, reach it nice and long, flex the foot, and think of rotating the leg slightly down. Now we're just going to do little pulses here for 8, 7, just feeling that glute. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, point the toes, reach a little longer, and let's bring the legs together. Give them a little pat. Okay, come on up so that you're resting on your bottom forearm. Elbow is just right beneath the shoulder. Let's do a little side plank here. So stacking those hips, push the mat away from you, take a breath in to prepare. As you breathe out, lift using those obliques. You're gonna rest up on that bottom shin and lower down. Good, let's do it again. Lift. So you're getting that bottom hip up off the mat and lower. 6 more. And 5. Good, the more you can think of lifting from here, the less work it's going to be for your shoulder. You can even shift a little weight into that bottom shin, get some work in that bottom hip. You're doing great. Last 1, and lower down. All right, meet me in a Z sit position, bottom leg in front, top leg back behind you here, and lift the arm up, and let's just come to a little stretch. Feels really good after those side planks. And we have another side. So let's come around and meet me down on your side in that 3/4 leg bend, getting ready for our clamshells. So let's find that setup again. Hips are stacked. Top hip is nice and long and you have that little space under here. All right, let's lift the feet up. Breathe in to prepare. And breathe out. Open squeeze. Inhale, lower. Open squeeze and lower. So as we're moving here, notice the top hip, that it's not rolling back with the knee. That really good form. That's what's going to get you the results that you want. Good. Let's do 4 more. 3. And 2. Well done. 1. Lower down and bring the feet down. All right, now hips stay stacked. We're gonna reach the top leg out nice and long. Imagine I'm pulling it out of the hip socket. Flex your foot, rotate the toes and knee down slightly. Leading with the heel, you're gonna pulse up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, you feeling those glutes? 1, hold, point the toes, reach, and bring the knees together. Nice and spicy, just the way we like it. Come on up, and you're gonna put your elbow right underneath your shoulder. Hips are stacked. Push the mat away from you, breathe in. Exhale, lift up side plank. Inhale, lower with control. Exhale, right back up. Good, almost done. We have 6. Stay strong with me. And 5. So when you start to burn, when you start to get tired, your breath is your best friend. Just keep breathing through it. Doesn't hurt to smile. Tricks your body into thinking you're having fun, which I hope you are. Last one. Up and lower down. See, I distracted you through the burn. Come on to your tummy. Last exercise. Bring your forearms right underneath you so the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes. Let's breathe in here. Push the mat away from you. Push out of the shoulders. Lift up to a plank on the knees. Draw the core muscles in nice and tight, and maybe you lift up to a full plank. Whatever variation you're taking here, I want you to stay strong in it. And we're gonna breathe here for 8 more counts. 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep lifting up away from the mat without lifting the bum too high. Hold there, lower down, and release. Nice job. Let's push up. One more shell stretch here. Breathe in, breathe out, and meet me out on the mat in a cross-legged position, just the way we started class. Grab your pillow if you need it. And we're gonna end class with a little twist and some breathing. So let's take our right hand to our left knee, bring our left hand behind us, and twist towards that left side. Using your hand on the knee to get a little deeper. Come to center, and let's go the other way. Good, meet me in the middle here, and let's reach those arms up to the sky. Breathe in. Hands together in front of the heart, breathe out. One more time. Reach up, gather up all that great energy you've just created with your beautiful movement, and draw that all in towards the heart. Great job, everyone. That is your first class. I'm sure that you nailed it, and I'm so happy that you decided to join me today. Congratulations, you completed class number 1, and I hope you're feeling so proud of yourself. This class was all about giving you the building blocks so that you can feel really connected to your body and that you can move on through the rest of the challenge feeling strong and confident in what your body can do. Having a healthy body that you get to move and having access to free workouts and challenges like this one, it's such a gift, it's such a privilege. And when you look at it that way and you think of it as something you get to do and not something you have to do or a chore, it really changes your relationship with your body and with the way that you view movement, and it opens up so many amazing doors. It's also so fun and so motivating to be able to see something in somebody else and to be able to relate to somebody else's journey. So I encourage you all to introduce yourself in the comments, tell us your name, your goals, your age, where you're from, anything that you feel comfortable sharing, and let's connect in the comments section and create a community where we can support each other and lift each other up and do this together. As I said, this challenge is designed to be progressive, so before you move on to class number 2, be sure that you're really comfortable with everything we did in class number 1. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment box below, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. All right, everybody, again, I am so proud of you. Good job today. If you enjoyed this class, don't forget to give this video a like, share it with someone you love who you think could benefit, and be sure to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. I can't wait to see you all in class number 2. I hope you have an amazing day.